page 3. To the founder, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and good conduct, Tathagatha, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer from the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. To the founder, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond the furthest way, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Tathagatha, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer from the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. To the founder, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond the furthest way, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Tathagatha, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer from the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. When, O supreme amongst humans, you were born on this earth, you paced out 7 strides, then said, I am supreme in this world. To you who were wise then, I prostrate. With pure bodies, forms supremely pure, wisdom ocean like a golden mountain, flame that blazes in the 3 worlds, winner of the best, Lord, to you I prostrate. With the supreme signs, face like spotless moon, color like gold, to you I prostrate. Dust free like you, the 3 worlds are not, incomparably wise one, to you I prostrate. The Savior having great compassion, the Founder having all understanding, the field of merit with qualities like a vast ocean. To you, the one gone to essence, I prostrate. The purity that frees one from attachment, the virtue that frees one from the lower realms, the one path, the sublime reality. To the Dharma that pacifies, I prostrate. Those who are liberated and who also show the path to liberation, the holy field qualified with realization, who are devoted to the warm precepts, to you, the sublime community and tending virtue, I prostrate. Homage to the Supreme Buddha, homage to the Dharma refuge, homage to the great Sangha, to all 3 ever devout homage, to all worthy of respect, bowing with bodies as many as all realms, atoms, in all aspects. With supreme faith I pay homage. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions. Perform only perfect virtuous actions. Subdue your mind thoroughly. This is the teaching of the Buddha. A star, a visual aberration, a flame of a lamp, an illusion, a drop of jewel or a bubble, a dream, a flash of lightning, a cloud, see conditioned things as such. Through these merits may sentient beings attain the rank of all seeing, subdue the foe of faults, and be delivered from sensarization, perturbed by the waves of aging, sickness, and death. The Heart of the Perfection of Wisdom Sutra, on page 15. I prostrate to the Arya Triple Gem. Thus did I hear at one time. The Bhagavan was dwelling on massive Ultras mountain in Rajagriha, together with a great community of monks and a great community of bodhisattvas. At that time, the Bhagavan was absorbed in the concentration on the categories of phenomena called profound perfection. Also at that time, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara looked upon the very practice of the profound perfection of wisdom and beheld those 5 aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Then, through the power of the Buddha, the Venerable Shariputra said this to the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara: how should any son of an lineage train who wishes to practice the activity of the profound perfection of wisdom? He said that, and the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara said this to the Venerable Shariputra: Shariputra, any son of the lineage or daughter of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the profound perfection of wisdom should look upon it like this, correctly and repeatedly beholding those 5 aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Form is empty, emptiness is form. Emptiness is not other than form. Form is also not other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, and compositional factors are empty. Shariputra, likewise, all phenomena are emptiness, without characteristic, unproduced, unceased, stainless, not without stain, not deficient, not fulfilled. Shariputra, therefore, in emptiness there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no compositional factors, no consciousness, no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visual form, no sound, no odor, no taste, no object of touch, and no phenomenon. There is no eye element, and so on, up to and including no mind element, and no mental consciousness element. There is no ignorance, no extinction of ignorance, and so on, to and including no aging and death, and no extinction of aging and death. Similarly, there is no suffering, origination, cessation, and path. There is no exalted wisdom, no attainment, and also non-taking. Shariputra, therefore, because there is no attainment, bodhisattvas rely on and dwell on the perfection of wisdom, the mind without obscuration and without fear. Having completely passed beyond error, they reach the end point of nirvana. All the Buddhas who dwell in the three times also manifest here completely awakened to unsurpassable, perfect, complete enlightenment in reliance on the perfection of wisdom. Therefore, the mantra of the perfection of wisdom, the mantra of great knowledge, the unsurpassed mantra, the mantra equal to the unequaled, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering, should be known as a truth since it is not false. The mantra of the perfection of wisdom is declared. Tayata, gate gate, paragate, parasamgate, bodhi soha. Shariputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva, should train in the profound perfection of wisdom like that. Then the Bhagavan arose from that concentration and commended the Bodhisattva Arya Avalokiteshvara, saying, well said, son of the lineage. It is like that. It is like that. One should practice the profound perfection of wisdom just as you have indicated. Even the Tathagattas rejoice. The Bhagavan having thus spoken, the Venerable Sharad Bhattiputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara, those surrounding in their entirety, along with the world of gods, humans, asuras, and Gandharvas, were overjoyed and highly praised that spoken by the Bhagavan. I prostrate to the gathering of dakinis in the three chakras, who abide in the holy yoga of using space. By your powers of clairvoyance and magical emanations, look after practitioners like a mother her child. Aka Samara Sashadara Samaria Pe.
Akasamara Shadara Samaraya Be Deyada Gade Gade Para Gade Para Sangade Bodhi Soha.
By the teachings of the true jewels possessing the power of truth, may inner and outer hindrances be transformed. May they become non-existent. May they become pacified. May they be completely pacified. May the negative forces opposed to the Dharma be completely pacified. May the hosts of edifices and obstacles be pacified. May we be separated from problems and harmful conditions to Dharma. May all enjoyments be in accord with the Dharma. May there be auspiciousness and perfect happiness here, right now. Short mandala offering, page 25. Saji Peki Joshuk Meto Jan Rira Lenshi Ninde Genpad Sangye Shinde Mide Uwargi Chogu Nanda Shenla Chubara Esho Jetsu Lama Dampa
Jenan Yen Chogu Kala Jenzen Dinde Ne Jeda Zambe Du Jetima Sakye Chuji Chawa Abdo So Guru Rane Mendela Kani Yadayami Sanye Chodan Soji Chodan La Chancho Bada Dani Jason Take Chujin Jive Sanam Ji Rola Benji Sanye Dora Sanye Chodan Soji Chodan La Chancho Bada Dani Jason Take Chujin Jive Sanam Ji Rola Benji Sanye Dora Sanye Chodan Soji Chodan La Chancho Bada Dani Take Chujin Jive Sanam Ji Rola Benji Sanye Dora Kange de zenye de da de je bang wa yin te be chu ne de de gu nan de la cha de la de nye yin je san de je be la chi je sin de gan je de le gu cha na be ma de de ja da so de zo je de lun dong yo ba de za la ma ra ma je da ge che pra be me de jo ne ga de je be gu ne ja ko son do je ngo do ze do so ai ta ko ze di da ya wo ko bu yi ra is feeling good.
Can everybody hear all right? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Everybody happy?
Da unser Kulong gom skara.
Okay, so we'll do a motivation meditation.
Da Kulong gom kharja gorla na ane tanda ngaje rig chöbade ne semje shen la pembe chedu pemba tubya chedu ane semje shen la pemba tadu de da sanje gom marerwa sanje gom mar tomna semje shen la pemba chedu go yore 인자 대체도 산재고 맡아와 쳐발라 아니 찬죽sem당 람줄이 껴고 람줄이 껴발라 람태고래 lam shego shebala togo deje de ne dirin di sanje rigo chönya de yani simje shinle shindala pemba bashik do ya che de ne ning yu samje kulon de je shos.
So our motivation should be to listen to these teachings on Buddha nature in order to attain enlightenment for the benefit of all sentient beings. But to clarify this a bit, in order to attain enlightenment, first you have to know the path, and to know, then you have to listen to teachings. You have to develop hearing or listening. And so therefore you should, with that intention, thinking I'm going to learn or listen to these teachings on Buddha nature in order to attain enlightenment solely for the benefit of sentient beings. That should be your motivation for listening to these teachings.
다른 야 가고금 투주 딘데지글야 다도 잠블링네 생장 쉬고도 하던다 코로나 바이러스 에네 딘데 걸랑하는데 양추 수수수 나라 대제 아니야 비 산제 리고게 딘데 최직 특이 총화대 매 개발상고 인삼 가고금스러.
So now you should rejoice. We have this kind of turmoil in the world because of this coronavirus. But we're extremely fortunate because we're isolated at home and can now be at home and listen to these wonderful Dharma teachings, right? So we should feel fortunate that even in this difficult time, we have this opportunity to listen to these wonderful teachings.
다운도 비딩 exercise 장가 주제고 있나라 비딩 나군이네 우쇼 제텐 다 아니 장가 꼭디 축제 장가 주제사스나 데 심디 과가라샤 제데스티 곰데스죠.
So now we'll do this breathing exercise. So breathing 10 times through your nose, both nostrils, and just do it slightly stronger and count the breath 10 times.
that's sim Tathagatha on the sim sha stera.
So now just bring the mind into the present moment and just relax into that.
Oh yeah, that tindang amang zo kom jaw sanje sim jiran shi we se sanje ngazo rigla de sim jiran shi we se ba de es lo sim jiran shi we se wa sto na sim jiran shi we se wa tmanam ji lu wa as jin song sa ro je za ngazo sim seri gi cha de ran shi we se ba res sim seri gi cha de 아니 마옹바라 산제기 심세리 차를 두고 요래 상주 심세리 들어 제단들라 산제기 릭사디 마옹바가 심세리 먼저 단대 심세리기 아니 마옹바 산제기 심세리 오래 두고 요 인자 아니 먼저라 산제기 릭요래세 릭디 단다 아니 심세리기 차디 샤기 요래스 단다 먼저 심세리 요러와 디 마옹바 산제기 심세리 오래 두고 요 인자 아마도 산지기 요레스티 라부 요레스.
So when we look at this Buddha nature in terms of this clear light or luminosity, so this clear and knowing aspect of our mind is said to have this aspect of clear light or luminosity. And what we should, and it's clearly stated, di donangla karisong? Donangla?
Semjiranshi wesewa, tumanangi luwas.
So the nature of our mind is clear light, and these stains are adventitious, right?
Remare dire, no demare, de gula marwa. Simla simmashi de semjiranshi wesewa dire to.
Oh, okay.
Simla simmashi de semjiranshi wesewa.
Sorry, that quote was actually from Uttara Tantra, so therefore, no, but that Uttara Tantra, what's stated there is based on the quote in the sutras by the Buddha, which said, regarding the mind, the nature of the mind is clear light.
Okay.
So what's meant here is that this clear and knowing aspect of the mind, its nature is clear light. And the potential is that our current clear and knowing aspect of the mind will in the future become the clear and knowing nature of the mind, or our clear light now, clear light nature of our mind will in future become the clear light nature of a Buddha's mind.
So
if we meditate, it's a bit on this. So it's the reason it's important to meditate is because through meditation, then you'll actually understand the meaning behind this. Without actually meditating on it, you can't really understand the meaning.
링rumujin pe da dene che samwa be slim pa thawaro che yang gom thor ro gom pa ji thor ta ya chu ru su ta dan da gom je tu je ro su khang ban de ro ta gom ja ho ta yang ja gom ja.
Okay, so when developing this method and wisdom, of course we have to work
wisdom mother clear light understand now simjirashi sincerity cha she ja ro.
Oh, top time should have sung. Okay, wow, okay, that was right, Oscar. Sorry, not method and wisdom. If you want to understand this clear light nature of the mind, then you have to do the meditation on it. So now, because of everything that's been happening with Ling Rinpoche's visit and these things, it may be that your actual focus on the meditation has been lost, that your practice has been taken a bit of a hit or been lost a bit. But now we really have an opportunity to actually reinvigorate our practice, really focus on that now.
양자 우ring 장강아 잡로 아니 장강아 잡 사회 제 다그란라 아니 디가둘라 단대 수수셈 단다 가르도 다 삼범마지베 나데그레 남다 유나데그레 콘도 유나데그레 되자 유나데그레 야 참바 유나데그레 닝지 유나데그레 야 동니 신예로 유나데그레 가레 유나다 당부 비디 엑서사이즈 장강아적 장강아 차와다가 참샤네 수수셈 단당할 심 간데시도 어디 시에버시 그랬다.
So now again we're going to do 5 breathing exercises with a long breath. And then after that, you want to be aware of your mind, but whatever the state of your mind might be, just to be aware of that. Right? Like it could be attachment, jealousy, anger, worry, love, might be some aspect of understanding of emptiness, anything that is just to do the 5 breathing exercises, and after that just to check how is my mind, right? And whatever it is, that's fine. It's just
awareness level.
Okay, so be aware of how is my mind. So just be aware of how your mind is.
Now we do a meditation. 다 수수쌤 가래 샤워데 시마체 다직 스트레스라고 앵자이티라고 근데 용거다 만샤라 단데 내가 요나 디 야고레 디 독자레 삼 가그룹 치기야마 디 가고 가주야마 거라 하고잖아 시바잖아 아니 디 하고와 제대로 심샤나 디고.
So now, often for us now, that worry or anxiety may come up at this time. However, you don't want to be judging it like good or bad or putting a stop to it. You don't want to be like cutting any particular thought that might arise. It's merely the aspect of recognizing it, knowing it, or being aware of it. Other than that, you don't want to be interfering with it.
예, 다 다리 준다되나라. 오 곰데 조잡 다 디간라 믹스에게 삼바. 한데 곰제야들라 되자다. 콘로다. 딘데 숙첨보여나. 빼야고. 단다디 곰데 제가 가둘라. 되자다 콘로 빼 숙첨보여나. 단다 빼야는 하고야디 야가여로. 뭐신야디 야가여로.
So at this time, if you have strong emotions, attachment or anger, then this is good, right? The stronger this emotion is, the better. Like the better it is to be aware of, and better it is to work. Not to work with, to recognize.
다디 계시르바 계시 다된다와디 삼루파다나 예루 심세리 차디나라 파 팀루르와 고 삼루디 당당알라 되자 숙첨부러지요나 디 가와도 다나 고파 예로 팀도 좋아 가와 팀 그래서나 셈간라 팀도 배낭한서 팀바도 와 팀바 난갈라 팀바다 추구 뭐도 와 추고 뭐 하고라 뭐 와다 바보 바보디 바 와다 그런 파팀 추구란 파팀도다 어디나시 하고나 하디거 되자디 사무단 가와도 다디 고파 예로라 다가나 대응 말고 다 지우지 예배 소리 지어야 될래 상당다 고파 파바바바 팀제 지금 세리기 차 세리기 소리 나는 파 팀도 이 팀바디 하거나 지나 되자당 콘로도 루브 임바데 다고 그 내갑지 임바데 하거나 근데 팀을 루브 왔어야 돼 먼저 무엇인 도로 하다 걸어 디 디싱고로 당도
So there's if and there's like emphasis on this if the emotions were to dissolve into the mind, right, or were to dissolve, what's happening is they're dissolving into the clear and knowing aspect of the mind. Just as a cloud, dissolves into the sky, or a water bubble, a bubble on water dissolves back into the water. These emotional states, they don't stay. They do dissipate and they do dissolve. And they dissolve into the clear and knowing aspect of the mind. So if one can be aware of this, if one can recognize this, this is how you can identify or understand this adventitious aspect of these emotional states of delusions. So just, I don't know if there's new people listening, adventitious means something that's not naturally part of something, it's added on as extra. So this is how we recognize this adventitious nature of the mind.
어디지? 다든데기 산지 심세리기 릭딜라 아니 테마루와 인장 테마 테롱레와 테마디 파 제롱레 다 테마디 가리 태고 그래서나 냠보 남고 메톱지 아니 테마 태고 그래와 다 남딜라 아니 탑다 시럽니 제로 탑딜라 아니 장죽 셈다 아니 시럽디 돈이도 왜 시럽 다 두주 상마 탑다 시럽니 봐
Okay. So then, once we understand that these stains on the mind are adventitious, we have to look at, well, how do we get separated from them? Because obviously this is a possibility. So then how do we separate ourselves from these stains? And we do it through the path, practicing the path. So, and when we practice the path, we're referring to the path of method and wisdom. So this is the path we need to practice if we wish to be separate from these adventitious stains.
기승의망은 도라 리기 모모체 릭세베 탑체 아니 릭세베 따체 릭세주체 디제 상만 도제 다 릭세와 대보침베 릭세와들라 닝지심부 줄을 제와다 대보침베 릭세 닝지심부 줄을 제와라 되네 아니 찬주쌤 제외 찬주쌤 줄을 제와네 티진기 람나 티진 손람라쇼 티진 손람들라 손람네야 조람네 아니 손람나 보다디 기승 로차르와 도네 다 손람이 내가스 아니 돈용 모습도 더 받달라 돈람스 다디 아니 다 초군조 군조 송은 낭전의 집에 초군조 사들이와
디통람디
돈람디
So when we looked previously about these 9 aspects, so the method of awakening one's nature, the sign that one's making one's nature, the method of explaining, so forth, right? So within this there was this, or is that something?
दूसरे दा रिग तेको संजय के रिग योरा रिग से वे थप बा रिग से वे थप ला गेवे सिने तांग अने सोला तांग निजी ता रिग से वे थप या शुद्ध किसी जुंडे मंगा दुंगे गानो तांग न्योम दा माशिन ब ठिन सो तो जो इन बांगो रिग से वे थप देला तेने अने रिग या सेव देला खरे योला ना अने निजी चिंबु जुले जेवा दा तेको चिंबु रिग से वे
sorry, no, it wasn't these 9. It was something else. But when we're talking about the method for awakening one's nature, so this would be things like reliance on the spiritual friend, practicing the 7-point cause and effect training, exchanging self for others. And then we talked about the measure of having developed recognizing one's nature, and method is when one develops great compassion. And from having developed great compassion, then based on that, one develops bodhicitta.
인지 전부 줄을 지어다 태고 전부 릭세브레스야 릭세와 간산 줄 릭세와.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, the measure of having Jungshit Sempe Rigse. So the measure of having recognized one's nature or entered one's nature is the development of this great compassion. And from having developed this great compassion, then one goes on to develop bodhicitta, and then one enters the paths, the 5 paths of accumulation, preparation, seeing, and so forth.
Mahayana.
The Mahayana path of accumulation, preparation, seeing, and so forth. And this path of seeing, when one enters that is the this path of seeing can be seen as the Tonglam di Chugikunjo. Okay, so the path of seeing is said to be the Dharma jewel.
다들이 제단 다디디레 동닝고선도 별로 람덴데 네 추군조들라 니셔 꼭된다 람덴 람덴데 동닝고선도 별로 람다 파괴주지 람탐제 파괴다 파 찬신 파괴라나 파괴주지 람탐제 람덴레 나와 추군조 찔러 람덴레 추군조 니바디 꼭된레 꼭된 어디 대신고다 디니
그래 꼭된데
꼭된 추군조를 니 꼭된다 람덴이
Okay, so just to clarify, because we have the true path and truth cessation. So the truth cessation is the true path is any path in the mind of an Arya being, or any path of in the mind of the Arya being, and the continuum of an Arya being itself is said to be the Dharma jewel. So pakwe gyudi chugikunchogre.
So
any path in the mind of an Arya being is the truth of the path, and these truths of the path, these paths in the mind of the Arya being is said to be the Dharma jewel.
Cessation labsa.
So the truth of cessation in the mind of an Arya being is the Dharma jewel. So di gogden di chugikunjo. Okay, yeah. So the truth of cessation in the mind of the Arya being is the Dharma jewel, not the truth of the path. So today we're going to look at the meaning of this definition of this Dharma jewel, and also these 8 qualities of the Dharma jewel as presented in this Tara Tantra. So the definition of the Dharma jewel is the pure truth of the mental continuum of an Arya possessing the 8 qualities such as inconceivability or inconceivable.
Something may last with Yundin Jelama Dojaje. Yundin Jew Karun, Yundin Chicken and the Tin and the Yundin Chicken, then Yogi, Pagwagi Juji, Namjan Dembalaswa. Namjan Demba, the Namjan Demba said the Cogden and Lamdin, Namjan Demba.
Okay, so we're going to go over these 8 individually and explain them all, but any being who possesses any of these 8 qualities or this continuum, possessed in these continuum, is what we're referring to here.
Namjan Demba said, how was it?
Namjan Demba.
Number Chama Demba. Namjan Lam Gombe dog pa. Ane top J number Chama Laura. On the Delagdo, Kunin Yomoshi Demba, Daddy Curato. temba shilaya kune nyomo suji temba namjan temba lagdo kune nyomo suji temba sa de yu nyomo le dene chungje ne yongu yobe yinza de la kune nyomo suji temba lagdo ta lamdin de ne lam gombe togi number changwa sre ta number jongje ji lamda jambal dembe ne enta davis nare te thobe kogden de la number ne dis nam chang number changwa sta gomjem pa changma söje chu zogwa de pa changma söni chu changma chagro 어디서 그러지 하고 그러다 주장마 소재에 대한 주장만이디 곡된체 주장마 소재에 대한 남된체 주족바디 녀몬 릴레이션 되겠지 디나신 아주 넘버 창화스디 람 찬주그 셈다 닝지단 도서 넘버 장제로 장제 넘버 창화에 가려운 거라서는 곡된데 넘버 창화에다 되고 남장게 곡된란 되고 명다고 김전된대로
So when we see possessing here, there's this other aspect of so the mind of an Arabian possessing these qualities is referring to this namjang aspect, which is this literally would be arising through learning, or manifesting maybe through learning. So what's meant here was when you talk about it in terms of the Four Noble Truths, you have two aspects. You have that which arises through karma and delusion, and that which arises through this manifest learning, or through this understanding. What's meant by that is that the truth of cessation arises through having practiced, having studied, having practiced this path. So it's the result of having done this practice, and so practicing along the path. So this truth of cessation is these qualities possessed by this Arya being on the basis of having done this study and practice, or the manifest result of having done this study and this practice.
다데 윤된 제데 단 유라면은 자와데 지랑서 다셔 다데 삼미님의 동매 타세님의 초니 간시 관계 차례에 니니친이 진이 최스 다저랑서 어디 론지 당고다 스타레 둔다드나라 데 책데 론지 당고레스.
Okay, so we're going to look at this the root verse now from Tathagatha, which is on page 3 if you have just the root verses, or it's on page 47 if you're looking at the commentary. So it says here, inconceivable, free from the two, non-conceptual, pure, clear, and of an antidotal class, that which and that by which there is separation from attachment. The Dharma is endowed with the characteristics of these two truths. So this is we should memorize this verse.
About singles, studying about the singles. Definitely you need to memorize. Definitely.
Definendum. Definendum.
Memorize.
Okay, so you need this. You need to memorize this definendum. I don't know if this is a definendum. Maybe.
Definitely.
No, not definendum.
Never singles.
Okay. Never do
Never do.
Definitively memorize it would.
What's it?
Definitively or definitely memorize.
Oh, definitely. Definitely, you need to memorize.
Definitely probably fits better than definitively in this context.
Let's come for your English. 아유, funny. 들어. 다 들어. 삼매사 다 제주 당보시하고. 삼매세가. 삼매세야 돼 가르쳐서나 다 당기게 내려다 가리라고 그래서나 단다 파괴기기 돈인 무슨도 왜 로데당 곡된요와. 디니니들라 거라면서 디니니게 연된데 돼서 그러다. 디니니게 연된데 안에 삼매스도 아니 무시도가 열려지다 삼되면 무시 있어야 돼 가서나 다들 다니지는 데스멘다요리와 단답값이 먼저 더스스 멘다 데스요 단답 먼저 값이 가서나 수수기호들 시샤고리와 수수기호 라마슈지 간사 직제 라마슈 간사 람도 쇼베 소제 숨 년도지 소제 솔람조람야로 란제지 솔람조람 티진지 솔람조람 디제라 소제 숨제 라마슈제 시도 디제게 아니 르 지도신 삼디요 말레스 파괴주지 연된 최근도 곡된다 람된티 간사 시디그 로디게 some to be a yomares or the shape.
Okay. So the Jangju Sem Rangsangi
Susejo loud, Susejo.
Sosokibo?
Ordinary
being Lam Jukbe.
Lamashu Kansan Jikche. Lamashuni Yorwa, Mondo Jikche. Tipata Kansan Manja Lamashurwa. Lamshuba de la Soje Sumir, Yendu Soje, Ranji Soje, Chansim Soje, Sumje, and the Gala Shichas on Odi. Mushitoga Le Chidoji, something Meva as order.
Okay. So, this thing that was emailed out to you, looking over it, I probably could have used a bit of a proofread, but we won't mention that anymore. But this first one, inconceivable of these first of these 8 qualities, the definition here is the quality of inconceivability such as the virtuous thoughts of the 4 beings. And 4 beings is the literal translation is the 4 possibilities. So these 4 beings or these 4 possibilities would be a being that hasn't entered the path, and then a being on the hearer's path, the solitary realizers, or the bodhisattva path. So these are the 4 possibilities. So an ordinary being or a being like most beings have not entered any of these paths.
Ordinary
being, yeah. So basically an ordinary person who's not on any of these.
For example, the Lord Yendu and Ranjay Cholam Jolam, Yendu Cholam Jolam, Ranjay Cholam Jolam, teaching Cholam Jolam, or the yellow.
Okay. So when we're referring to a being who hasn't entered the path, it's somebody who's not on the 5 paths for any of these 3, hero, solitary realize, or bodhisattvas. So, somebody who's not on the path of accumulation or preparation for a hero, not a path of accumulation for a solitary realizer, or the path of accumulation or preparation for a bodhisattva, which is the vast majority of beings, right? So the inconceivable nature is it's inconceivable to understand the Gogdengi Tokpa or Sampa? So we can't conceive the truth of the inconceivability is we can't conceive the truth of the truth of cessation. That's or the truth of the path.
Tomato Samadu said this Delmaro Managina. Tomato Samadu said Logarda Managina. Same Samlenane, some to be your mother, same Samlenane. The days yours and the some down to be your mother's word.
Right.
You're in the away you did.
Yeah, so it's not being able to see it, it's not being able to conceive of it. We can't think we can't concept it, we can't think about it basically.
Can't think about it, can't thought about it.
So the the Joglam
Tonong Pawaji, Tuning the Lord, the days yours, some to Marwa.
So the Kibushi, the Chokshi, the Samlatang to Gumana.
To Mares.
Okay, so this
some shitty Chogunjo, Tanda, the days yours, some down to Marella.
Okay, so just to clarify, it's the 4 types of beings are ordinary beings, those on the path of accumulation and preparation for the so the Tonglam Jela the Kogudu Hakogudu.
The Tanu love Mare. Get the lamb me too to already. Consider some two Mares and 6 shares in the door. The Galaya Doshara into do. Shijor, Kansan Shidi, Chogunjo turned out the some two Mares Lamna and Dixer.
So the Kansan Shidi is so for the
Kansan Shidi Lamashu Kansanche, Yendu Soje, Ranjeg Soje, Chancing the Soje Tamel. Soje.
So the Soglam
Jolam Yidrawat.
Yeah. So it is just to clarify these 4 types of beings. I may not have explained it clearly. It's ordinary beings who aren't on a path, and then the beings who are on the path of accumulation or preparation for heroes, solitary realizers, or bodhisattvas. These are the beings that cannot conceive of this truth of cessation. They can't clearly conceive. Understand it basically.
That's some men said it. That Nime said it. Nime loved one. Nime said it wasn't that. That led on pneumoni, so Chirigwa me was low. Tolambe Jula, Kashela Leoma, Kashela, Pneumonia Mares, or the Lenoni Chirigwa me was, Tolam Yinegaps. chokunjoga negapsu tangi tunyi ngusundu welo de na kokdengi negala leda nyumoni chirigba mewa asa odila.
Right. So that's free from the two, which is the class which does not have the two, karma and delusion. So it means that for the path of seeing, some are free from karma and some are free from delusion. So it refers to here that this is completely free from karma and delusion. The Tonglam has gone to the Gogden
le kura mewa. Nyumo yoma, ninga yoma rakoden.
Yeah. So the truth of cessation has neither this karma nor delusion.
람den negapsu lam nyumo yoba yori le yoba yoinza chirikpa lago dire chirikpa se khairo ma yoresen.
Okay. Whereas on the truth of the path, there still can be karma and lamden
negapsu yuldme khansandela yoro.
Oh, okay. So there are beings on the truth of the path who have karma and delusion. So this chiang meba di yora mana.
Chirikpa mebas, chirikpa se khairo ma mebas lago.
Okay.
Chiang me yomada chirikpa se khairo. Yamena de yomara sedre chirikpa sedre.
Okay, so this chirikpa
khairo.
What would be here? This literally it's which here. Means that it's either free of karma or delusion, right? Like it either is free of that or it's free of this. So it either has freedom of this or of that. That's literally what this word, which is the only way to translate it, is which. It has a little bit more connotation in Tibetan. And then the third one is non-conceptual.
파괴주라 추미이지 남도 요 말에서 추미이지 세대가서 나다나 간졸라 배나 간졸라 추미이지 요래 가서는 간조 닝제고 마인이라 닝제고 레스 삼는 뭐보다 아는 간조 되자슈 좀 보지야 아니 콘로 치부 좀 마가와 디딩아 좀 된체스 아디 아니 디로 풍부미자와라 자와진로 아니 디 다이디 추미이지 남도 서버 인자 파괴라 추미이지 된데 요 말에 저는 파괴주라 Lesa to Sogo Yamare. Pabajula, Deja in the Yomar, that Debe Deja, there's a Yomar, Deja into Yomar, Cheta. A Yomarlana. Reda, Shawan, you a Yomar.
So the third one, this non-conceptual, refers here to the absence of a conception believing in the incorrect method. Non-conceptual.
To me,
non-conceptual might not be the best translation. It would maybe be better to say the absence of conception, which would be more literal to the Tibetan word. So the absence of conception means the absence of believing in an incorrect method. So, for example, us now, we hold things to be beautiful or ugly, and based on that, we develop like and dislike and so forth, right? We hold that which is unclean to be clean. Because of that, we develop attachment and these types of mindsets. Now, for an Arya being, they don't have this, right? They don't have this attachment. They cannot be conceive of a wrong method like this. They're free from all this wrong understanding.
세상은 파괴 댐바스거든. 댐바실라 파괴 댐바스거든. 먼저 동해 댐바스거든. 그래서 난저게 나란저 풍부디 동해그란 신이 바디 통투고요 말에. 미자외란 신이 바 통투고요 말에. 미자외란 신다 동해란 신이 바 통마데와 인자 먼저 자와진 아니 동해기 줄을 죽제 동해기 주스여제 아니 강에 쇠되기요. 파괴되지 동해이 바디 카두 시에 인자 컨저 동해기 줄을 죽고요 말에. 동해 주 맞이고 인자 파괴라 동해요 말에. 세상 네 파괴 시고나신 되라네 동해그란신 인자네 파괴응올라 여바나신 덴바이 원에 여바 인자 다티 원에 레스 덴바 레스 와 계절어시는 미직데 파워레라나 미직데 테브레라비나 테브데 덴바 마르와 파워레라나 덴바르와 세단데 파괴게 동해그란신 림바데 하고 인자데 동해그란신 레샤 라윈데 된 파괴 시고나신 되라네 인자네 파괴 덴바스 어디지? 안주 동해 임바 통토고요 말한다고 봐. 이 통하다 안주 네 동해 줄을 주고 말아.
Right. So these Four Noble Truths are referred to the Four Noble Truths, literally would be the Four Arya Truths, if you translate it exactly. So they're referred to as the Four Arya Truths because this is how, for example, when we talk about the truth of suffering, this is how Arya beings see phenomena or see existence. So the understanding, when you have this understanding that your aggregates are in the nature of suffering, when you directly see that, then you stop creating the causes for suffering. And when you stop creating the causes for suffering, then of course you don't experience suffering. So this is seeing things the way that they are. Like basically what's meant by this is that, you know, if in a conventional sense you'd say, well, this is a cup, right? Everybody agrees. But if you were to say that this is a book, then that would be incorrect. That would be incorrect perception because actually it's a cup. It's not a book. So this is in this way we see these things in this incorrect way. But Arya beings are free from that. They see things the way that they are. And if we were to see things in this way, then we wouldn't create these causes for suffering. We wouldn't be experiencing suffering.
주미 지금 남자 매워지. 다들 시바디 탁세해야 되더라. 탁was어야 되다. 탁was어야 돼. 탁was어야 돼 가서는 남징오 주어도 맞게 타고. 다 남징오 그러나 당기 시험나시 팀에 년보송다. 콜롱 어디 딥된 요든데 요말 먼저 셈디 단다 딥데도 아니고 아니 돈이 무슨 돌로들 람데 근데 뉴모 루베 뉴모 디베 요말에 딥데 요말에 세다 람징 오버 디바다 마체바 인자 네 타과서야 되더라
디 딥디 탑
람징 오버 디바다 마티베 타과서 오월라 디바 간주 셈단데 루베 디메 딥데 요와 뭐 딘데 요말에 디미는 타과서야 되더라
오케이
나 빠요 말보다
Okay, so the purity refers to the purity free from the obstacles. So the fourth one, being pure, is the purity free from the obstacles to the essence of the path, or the nature of the path. So what this purity is this freedom from this obscuration, because we have all these obscurations, right? Obstacles or obscurations that prevent us from understanding. But if you have this direct realization of emptiness, this becomes an antidote to all of these obscurations. And a mind that has freedom from this, or this freedom from this obscurations is said to be liberation. So a mind that is free from these obscurations is liberated, whereas our mind is obscured, or we're obscured by these obscurations. But if you gain freedom, being separated from that is what's referred to as liberation.
다들 탁 셀사디 네 치다와도 진이와 리바스다 로아 람디 돈용고 숨도 떡바당 어느 군소데 먹고 숨도 세바사디 먼저 다 돈용고 숨도 떡에 태래도 배나 치다와사디 동반이래 진이와사디 군소데 말에 다 동반이 웃음도 떡바당 군소데 먹고 웃음도 떡두고 여래서 박we 내가.
So then this clarity is being aware of things as they are and as they all, being aware of things as they are and all that exists. So there's two aspects here. When we talk about being aware of things as they are, this is referring to ultimate truth, understanding of ultimate truth, and all that exists is referring to an understanding of relative truth. So if you have this direct realization of emptiness, this is being aware of things that they are, and then this understanding of phenomena and relative truth is understanding all that exists.
So
that means, is that clear?
다들 년보 써야 돼. 나 년보 미든초고 년보 체외 윤대. 년보 미든초고 년보 체외 윤대다. 년보도 이인 바라봐다. 와.
So then the antidote is the qualities that act as an antidote to incorrect. Literally the word is direction, but maybe more in terms of understanding it would be an incorrect path or activity. So this antidote to these incorrect paths or activities or directions would be what's referred to as the antidote here.
나 년보 써야 돼. 저 냠볼람나 칼라고르스나 미든조 좀바치베 탑들라 냠보서고라.
So what's meant by this word antidote? So it's the method to eradicate this incorrect direction, or incorrect method, or incorrect path.
미든조 좀바치베 탑서라.
Yeah, the method in order to eradicate this incorrect path or method, direction.
제가 람 탐제 냠보레 배나 전주쌤 요나 란진지 좀바치도 그래. 동반이도 베시라위나 단지 좀바치도 그래. 디나시 짐베 냠레이나 세나 좀바치도. 어두스타 레레 람카리 레레레레 아니 띵이진 템보요나 셈 남이행디 파숑 바치도. 딘데스 체주레레 요라 미딘주 파 좀도다.
Right. So when we talk as a direct antidote to the various incorrect paths or incorrect directions, so the mind of bodhicitta would be a direct antidote to the aspect of self-cherishing. The generosity, the mind of generosity, would be a direct antidote to the mind of miserliness. Tongpanyi tokpa?
돈이도나 아니 딘지라 너로라 미딘조 딘지.
And if you have this realization of emptiness, that's a direct antidote to the grasping itself. So these are these antidotes or direct antidotes, is what to these incorrect paths or incorrect thinking, incorrect directions.
다되지. 근데 간식로 간식 강기 착태와 간식 써야 되게 윤된 직된 거다. 둠바디 된 거. 간식 써야 돼.
Okay, so it's not really that clear in here, but the 7th and 8th one is translated here as that which and that by which.
간식 써야 되다. 둠바디.
Yeah, it's
다되네. 간식라 착바단 태워지고 꼭된 게 윤된 쓸 때문에.
Yeah, so it's not that clear in English. It's just the grammatical way the Tibetan is. But that which is one and that by which is one. So that's the 7th and 8th. So when we say that which refers to the quality of the truth of cessation, that which is free from attachment.
이제 간식제. 관계 있어야 돼. 아니 관계 착바다 태워지베 탑딜 람덴레 다 람덴 쉐고 람덴. 착바다 태워지베 탑. 예, 꼭된데 수유도 터월에 착바다 수유 태워서나 람덴도 터워 인자 아니 람덴도 터워 집에 인자 관계에서 제대로 되려나.
So that by which, right, refers to the quality of the truth of the path which is free from attachment. Sorry, that by which one is free from attachment. What meant here is that by the truth of the path, one comes to be free from attachment. So that's why so you could almost say that which is free and that by which is free. If that makes more sense? Does it make sense? Because it's not as clear in the English as it is in Tibetan.
관시 관계 착태와 대니 대니 있어야 된다. 한다 대니 있어야 돼. 아니 람덴다 꼭된을 거래. 봐. 거기 체주제 되게 아니 람덴다 꼭된기 체주래서다. 와 제주제는 숨 당보숨데 꼭된 체주 지마숨데 람덴 체주 아니 관시 착보다 대화 꼭된 관시 착보다 대화죠. 더 람덴 제주 숨성을 두가는 이제 계차서 어디 니니 친이 진지 최 사회나는 니니 있어야 돼. 꼭된단 라덴이게네 친이리 제주에서다. 네 친이리에서다. 단 최근적으로 친이 시에다 한다.
Okay. So these 8 qualities. So that which and that by which being 2, and then the other 6 that come prior to that. By these, then this is the 8 qualities of the truth of the path and the truth of cessation. Right? So these are the qualities.
어디 다 추근적 친이 다디 제주 디제디 야고지 쉐버체고 다단다 자와디 말로는지 로 아니 사메님의 도매가 다세님의 초다 가시강의 차를 니니티 지주스 사와데시 엔데네 대간의 천이데시 삼데메워서 윤대교 그런데 파주인 남자한테 봐서 천이데시 다디시 셰베이나 아니 귤라메가 저저 개지슈 직신 말한 거로.
Okay, so it's very important to memorize the chogi konchuku senyi.
chokunjo tsinyedan di zawadi lojina dinan kejo gedi tyongda.
So it's very important to memorize first of all this definition of the Dharma jewel. So I'm just going to read it out slowly again, just in case.
jela mere de jengi di kondola ime danshan dira.
Okay, all right. I'll add this definition of the Dharma jewel to this thing that was sent out. So you want to know memorize this definition of the Dharma jewel. You want to memorize this root verse, and then you want to understand what these 8 qualities all are. So if you have an understanding of this as the basis of that, then this will allow you to understand the Uttara Tantra more clearly. It will really help to understand the Uttara Tantra.
이거라서나 먼저 뒤다 남바산집에 군조 숨쉬는데 초군조디 깜고요라고 그러와.
Right.
다 초군조 깜고요나 초군조 가래럽도 초군조 데레. 다디 깜고요 간데서 착을 했으니 저어들려는데 어느 삼마단디 연대디 계시나 저어들라 그래 저는 랜드라 그래.
So when we talk about the 3 jewels, we refer to the Dharma jewel as the actual refuge. Right? When we talk about refuge, and 3 jewels, we refer to the Dharma jewel as the actual refuge. So why is that? That question can arise. So when you understand that, you have to understand the meaning of the Dharma jewel. Like what means the Dharma jewel, to understand how it's that it is the real refuge. And then the question arises, well, why is this said to be the real refuge? Well, if you understand these 8 qualities, then that becomes the answer to that. That answers that question.
그나서 네 주민지 남도 매버서 디지고 유네 제주 대외네. 나서 동해시우 용으로 두고요라. 나서 주민지 남도게 나서 디닝제부터 대야고도 대전 상로대 당고요라. 디단에 에네 되자게 연거로고.
Right.
제자 주민지 남도게 나서 강에 창마 되네 수용이자. 파고라 주민지 남도 매나 아니 대장배 되자요 말아. 되자면은 아니 대장 차도요 말에 잘라서 말에 안 그래요 말에 다 내주 망부 쉬우지 매우 차도돼. 아니 원에 겹고도 왔다 수수 겹어도 하고도 돼로.
So this non-conceptual or freedom from conception, you could say, or absence of conception. For example, if you start to develop these 8 qualities, then this really changes your mind and frees you from the suffering. For example, this freedom, absence of this conception, meaning this absence of believing in an incorrect method. For example, through believing things in an incorrect way, we develop attachment, aversion, and so forth, which of course leads to a lot of suffering. But if you don't believe in this incorrect method, you don't have this freedom from this conception of these incorrect methods, then you don't develop attachment, you don't develop anger, you don't develop these emotions, and of course you don't have the suffering that comes with them.
No, this is then chiwa chiwa. When the chiwa do
So is there any questions around this?
Online chiwa. Okay, and then tade shashan dire.
Okay, so we'll stop here. Is there any questions coming through?
Next week I can give answer. No problem. That is single.
Okay, but you really have to memorize this verse. Okay, so we'll stop here.
Yeah. 진이서 교환에 되는 거는 그러면 교환지도 로선도 많이 때문에 용모를 세지 쇼 사지 버지 중심에도 다르게 이제 말이 산제 신제메데 와예 도변도 신나죠 봐쇼 이당 거래라는 면에라 감니야다야미 개와디 녀데다 라마산제 버지 도 진짜말로
So that exception into that enlightened state. Zidrindo Bodhicitta, which has not arisen, arise and grow, which has not diminished but increased more and more. Whatever slight positive potential I have created by paying homage, offering, and acknowledging my faults, rejoicing and requesting the Buddhist stone teach, I now dedicate all this to full awakening. I dedicate all these roots of virtue with the dedication praise to this, by the victorious one thus gone on 3 times, so that I may perform noble works and done practice flourish. May the elements of obstacle be pacified, and all conducive circumstances